crazy deadline day approaches for Southampton after 3 points on the road. Welcome back to Where the Saints Talk with myself, Luke, and today we've got Elliot, Alex and Joe talking all things Southampton, including this week's A to Z and Tweet of the Week. Elliot, let's start with the game itself. Great feeling to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, 100%. Not only a win, but a clean sheet. And not only a clean sheet, but an away clean sheet. It's the first one since December 2024, when we drew 0-0 away to Fulham in the Premier League. And yeah, I think the new back four system is looking really solid. And it's nice to see us proficient in both areas of the pitch, attack and defence. We look solid all game. There's been this trend under Eckert where we've played really well in the first half and then just capitulated in the second half, but there was nothing like that today. Peretz, he had a couple of world-class saves. Bazuni would have let those in all day long. So it's just a satisfying game across the board.
That is a mad stat, by the way. December 2024. That is a mad stat. Alex, what do you think to the new? You boys have been calling it for ages, haven't you? Four at the back, nice bit of structure. Do you feel like Todd Reckitt's finally been watching the pod and he's taking notes?
Well, yeah, it's almost as if a Saints manager has finally decided that playing your best players in the Championship, where you're kind of a top 2 or 3 quality team, is the right idea. It just looks. There's no like big idea or tactic. There's nothing like crazy going on. It's just platforming the players in the right places and they look so much better. I mean, Harwood, Bellis and Stevens look so comfortable. James Bree and Wellington at wing backs, they were brilliant again. Wellington looks just unreal. And Tom Fellows and Cienza, finally, we've been calling it, play them high and wide and they're going to deliver. And I think it was an assist for Fellows, and Cienza wasn't one of his best games, but I guess earlier on in the season, if he wasn't having one of his best games, the whole team would kind of fall off, where the team kind of stepped up, and it was a good performance.
Yeah, 100%. You're right. James Bree, we've got to make a point on him coming into the team, back-to-back games. I think he's been brilliant, and another player that's been amongst the goals of late is Finn Azaz. He pops up on the score sheet again, Joe. That's 7 goals now out of 25 games, which isn't a bad return for his first season at Saints.
No, definitely not. He's a funny player, as Finn Azaz. Like he had that really good run when Eckert first came in, and it's now he's kind of seeming to get back to that sort of level again. Like, yes, he didn't score against Pompey or Sheffield United, but everything was going through him. Whereas beforehand, when we were playing back 5, he was kind of invisible. Like nothing was really getting to him, or he couldn't really create. He's better, like kind of behind the striker. I think 7 goals in 25 is a really good return for first season. Get a couple more assists, and he's a solid little player, to be fair.
Definitely. Do you feel like, Elliot, that Tons has found his settled starting 11 now? He knows the strongest starting 11 on the pitch. As Alex mentioned, Cienza and Fellows, nice high and wide. Bree, Wellington. Do you feel like he's found his formula now and his starting 11 is secure?
Yeah, definitely. By the way, I've just double checked. It's 8 goals and 5 assists for Azaz in 25 games.
That's very good. Very good return.
Not bad at all. Go back to your question. I think so, because we were all complaining, weren't we, that Fellows was being played at right wing back and it weren't getting the best of him. As Alex said, wing backs, Wellington and Bree, they look really, really comfortable. Wellington, I think, had the most tackles yesterday as well. He was, he played them off the park. The only area of concern for me is the striker, which we'll get onto later. But Stewart looks good, but he's made of glass, so we can't rely on him to start, 4 or 5 games in a row. But no, in terms of midfield and the attacking, the attacking three behind the striker, that definitely looks nailed on. And the defensive partnership of Stevens and Harwood Bellis, I think is our best defensive partnership, without a doubt. So, it just depends on the striker, as I said, but we'll get onto that later, I'm sure.
Yeah, We definitely will. But let's start with. We're going to go through the transfer windows, a crazy approach. We're coming up to deadline day. It's going to be mad for Saints, I feel. But let's talk about a player that's actually in the building. New goalkeeper, Alex. I think he's come in. He's made some brilliant saves and kept a clean sheet against Stoke.
Yeah, he's been really good. I think, well, obviously, I don't want to get onto Gavin Bazzini straight away, but he always underperformed on. I think it was like he was on -5 for like goals expected goals conceded, and it's just he concedes so much more than he faces. Where Peretz is already on +2, and he's played 4 league games. He saves what you're meant to save, and then he makes the big saves in the moments that you need him to. And I think you can kind of. His playing out from the back isn't brilliant, but I think I'd rather have a goalkeeper that saves shots than is able to pass out as much as Bazunu is. So I think we found a bit of a balance in between, which is good. He's been a really good signing, and I think could be interesting. I think he might maybe be one to bring on permanently in the summer.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. Just keep our eyes peeled on that one. Well, let's get into it then, Joe, shall we? It's all happening. It's all happening. Adam Armstrong, he has been linked throughout the whole window to a numerous amount of clubs. It looks like at the time of recording that it's Wolves that have, won the race for his signature. From a Saints fan point of view, how do you feel about letting go your top scorer, the guy that gets the goals? He knows how to score goals. How do you feel with letting him go in January? And not ideal.
Just when you thought Sports Republic couldn't get even worse, they pull this out the hat. I mean, fair enough. Like he can be sold in the window. Like it is what it is. He's a player. Like you can put bids in, but why Wolves? Like they're going to be in the Championship with us next year, and there's no disrespect to Wolves out there, but they're not exactly the greatest. Like I don't think he's going to go there and he's going to add anything. Like he's not going to get the goals to keep him up. Like he proved that with Southampton in the Premier League. I think he got 8 goals over 4-5 years in the Premier League. Like, yeah, just another Sports Republic masterclass, to be honest with you. And the player that we've got lined up is a prolific goal scorer as well, with 1 goal in the last 15 appearances. So, yeah, as I said, Sports Republic masterclass once again.
Definitely. What do you think to the fee though, Elliot? We're reading 7 mil plus 2 million add-ons. Is he coming to the end of the year in his contract? Isn't he, Adam Armstrong?
Yeah,
how do you feel about the actual deal itself?
Well, if you look at it in the context of he has 1 year left on his contract, 9 million isn't bad, but I think that's slightly less than what we signed him for from Blackburn. Yeah. I think it was about 14 mil. More or less. So we're making a loss on him. So it doesn't make financial sense. It doesn't make footballing sense. Just as we've started to build a bit of form and positive momentum, we decide to go and do that. Now, okay, fair enough. If he's kicking up a stink and he wants to leave, fine. Sometimes your hands are tied. But the fact we're replacing him with a 30-year-old bloke who's scored 1 goal in 50 games, and Feyenoord fans are thanking us for, taking him off their hands. So, it's just, it's just so frustrating because I was looking forward to the pod tonight. I thought it was going to be a lovely, positive pod for one, and this is kind of overshadowing it a bit because it's the end of the transfer window tonight. So. It's bizarre. I just hope Ross Stewart can just stay fit for the rest of the season because we're going to need him.
Definitely. What else you hearing, Alex? I know you got your ear to the ground, mate. Is there any other players any other whispers before 7 p.m. Monday night?
Well, Joe Aribo, I think, is off to Leicester, which is a ridiculous signing.
Hallelujah!
So Leicester are in a similar position to us, right?
Yeah,
They've got
true.
A terrible wage bill. Players that they don't like, their fans don't like. Why are they signing Southampton's 6th choice midfielder to then take his wages off of us? I mean,
Who's on 70 grand a week anyway?
I don't understand that at all. But it's great business for us to do that. I think Adozie could be off in the next 24 hours if anyone naturally wants him, which would be, well, he's a good player, and I think we've kind of hampered his kind of progression a bit, him being with us so long. Cameron Archer as well. I think Rangers are in for him, but now with Adam Armstrong going to Wolves, I think that possibly could fall apart. But I'd rather just see him off as well and get someone good in. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get anybody decent in by the looks of the rumours today.
We shall see. We shall see. By the time we record this on a Sunday night, the pod goes out on a Monday. By the time, you never know, there could be some special signings, some surprises maybe.
Last window was Cienza on deadline day, so if we can match that, would be brilliant.
Elliot absolutely loves the guy, so yeah, that'd be good. Anything on that sort of comparison to Cienza, that would be a good signing. But we shall see. Right, onwards and upwards. Watford at home, Joe. What are we expecting from the game, and what is your score prediction?
Watford are a really funny one. I mean, they love to get rid of their managers like no tomorrow. They've just got rid of. Well, he resigned today. They're looking all right. I think they're like 4 points off the playoffs or something. So they had a really good little turnaround with him. I think we got a bit too much in the locker, hopefully, for them this time. Being at home, I think the 7 points from the last 3 games is kind of hopefully buoyed us on a little bit. I would like this to kind of kickstart a little run and hopefully push ourselves up a bit, up the table a little bit. I'm going to be real positive this week. I'm going to go for a 4-1 Saints win. Sod it. I'm going to be real positive. I'm going to go there.
That'll be that'll be.
That's going to come and bite me back in the arse. Actually, to be fair.
Yeah, I love the optimism, Joe. I love it, mate. Elliot, are you going to be as optimistic as Joe? What are you expecting from the game and your score predictions, mate?
Yeah, I think I will be as positive as Joe, which makes a nice change. Yeah. Watford aren't the best away from home. They're 18th in the away table.
Wow.
Yeah, which is not as I'm surprised at that. The teams like Wednesday, Pompey, Oxford are below them, and Charlton. So yeah, not as good as I would have thought. But with our kind of recent turn in form, I'm expecting another solid performance. There's no reason because as I said earlier in the pod, we would play really well in the first half under Eckert before in the other system, and then capitulate in the second half. But I think this new system that he's employed is so much more solid, and it's able to be sustained for longer. So, yeah, we could even have 2 clean sheets in a row. Yeah, sorry, I'll go with a 1-0 win.
Nice. The new lad to score if he gets over the line.
If he scores, I'll wear a Pompey shirt on the pod next week.
Well, let's hope he doesn't score then.
Yeah.
Right, well, we're now up to the A to Z feature, and we're flying through it. We're up to the letter O now. So, Alex, we'll start with you, please, mate. What is your letter O for Southampton?
I'm going to go with Oriol Romeu, who's just returned to the club, and it was this big. Well, he's a club legend. I think he was here for nearly 10 years, and yeah, signed from Chelsea, I think it was, and he was just the staple of our midfield while we were actually a good footballing side. And yeah, since he's come back, I guess he's added something to the dressing room, hopefully, but seemingly not involved, which is a bit of a weird one. I guess I heard about, there was this behind closed doors game where Nick Oyakunle, who was on the bench for Saints yesterday, actually, he ran rings around him in a behind closed doors game. So yeah, I think his legs are a bit gone, but he's an absolute legend. So he's got to be on it.
Definitely, he's had a crazy career, isn't he? Some of the clubs he's played for, he's definitely had a very odd career. Elliot, you're up, please, mate, for letter O for Southampton.
Yeah, so I'm going to go a bit left field of this one and say Danny Osvaldo. He wasn't remembered too fondly because he was crap, but it's quite a funny story because he joined 2013 when Pochettino was the manager for about 13 million, which at the time I think was one of our record signings. He played 13 matches, scored 3 goals. One of them was a wonder goal versus City. He lobbed their keeper from, I think it was Joe Hart. He lobbed from the corner of the box. And yeah, didn't do much else after that except for have a fight with the captain Jose Font in the dressing room. He later went on to play for Boca Juniors and had his contract terminated after he was caught smoking in the dressing room, and then retired in 2016 to focus on his music career. Yeah, quite an interesting story, that one. As I say, not remembered fondly, but certainly remembered with interest and intrigue.
Can't say I've heard any of his music, so I don't know how that career is going. But
yeah,
oh, brilliant! No, two very good ones, boys. Right, we are finishing on tweet of the week as we always do, and it's from the Saints page itself, and it's just 3 bullet points, if you like, from the game against Stoke: clean sheet, 3 points, and 3 unbeaten. Do we think though that we're going to be taking a little bit of a run now? The Saints are going to go on a little bit of a run and really could maybe push playoffs?
I would like to think so, because I think these, as we said, these last 3 games have been really positive. Yes, we drew against Pompey, but it's 7 points out of a possible 9, 3 unbeaten. I would like to think that's enough to put into the players that we can actually go on a little run now and get some points on the board. And yeah, if we do that, then there's no reason why we can't push playoffs. I think we're only 7 points off playoffs still, which in the grand scheme of things is quite ridiculous given how rubbish we have been. So anything is possible in this league.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Elliot, we'll let you have your say, mate. Do you think that Saints could go on a real push for playoffs?
Yeah, it's quite crazy when you look at the table. We're suddenly only 5 points off the playoffs when it wasn't that long ago. We were thinking, oh God, we could get dragged into a relegation scrap and do a Sunderland, it's mental what, 2 or 3 positive results can suddenly do for your, for your season. I probably feel better this time than I did when we had those 5 wins in a row, because even the 5-6 wins in a row, we were still leaking in goals and we were, really, as I've been saying, capitulating in second halves. But we've kept 2 clean sheets in 3 games, and our new goalkeeper looks really good. So I'm actually reasonably optimistic for the rest of the season. Yeah, it's just, I think it all kind of boils down to this striker situation, because that could really make or break the rest of our season. But yeah, 5 points off the playoffs, why not?
Definitely. Alex, just before we go, I know you're our transfer correspondent. Any other news coming through recording, or are we all good to finish?
Well, we can finish on a negative note if we talk about a striker, which doesn't sound like a good idea. But Ross Stewart, he just hope that Ross Stewart stays fit for the rest of this season and we've got a decent chance.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought you were going to say he's gone out and got himself injured again then. I thought you were about to break the news that he's out for like 6 months now.
No, as far as we're aware, Ross Stewart is absolutely fine and ready to go. Thank you, boys. Great conversation as always. This to see how the deadline day finishes. Thank you for watching at home. Please like and subscribe, and please get involved in the comments below talking all things Southampton.